Hey everyone, it's Miss G, and I am back with our third installment of translations. And tonight our objective is to draw. So yes, you are going to need, before we begin, you're going to need to stop and make sure you have a straight edge, some sort of a ruler or some sort of straight something that you can use to draw. Now I just have like one of these small little rulers. That'll work perfectly fine. You can use a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, something that's going to be straight to help you get these objects drawn. So we're going to translate and draw the figure on a coordinate plane. So let's take a look by reading the problem. Sean drew figure ABC, and he plans to create figure A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime by translating the figure 4 units to the right and 6 units down. On the coordinate plane below, draw and label Sean's figure A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. And the prime notation is so important because that's going to indicate to us that it is indeed an image. So the first question asks, write the rule. We talked about rules in our last video. So in words, we're moving each point 4 units right and 6 units down. So in symbolic form, let's think about that in symbolic form. Well, I know that I'm going to start off and I'm going to have a T. And since right is the positive direction, I'm going to have a positive 4, and 6 units down, I'm going to have a negative 6. So that's going to be a negative because I'm moving down. So this is our rule. T, which is for translation, for negative 6. Now I'm going to use arrow notation to show how each vertex maps to its image. So let's start by finding the coordinates of A. So write down all the coordinates first. So A is negative 9, positive 7. B is negative 1, positive 7. C is negative 3, 2. And D is negative 7, 2. And since we're using the rule for negative 6, A prime, I'm going to have negative 9 plus 4, and then 7 minus 6. So A prime is going to be negative 5 and a positive 1. So that's going to show us like where we need to be. Again, T for negative 6, B prime, negative 1 plus 4, 7 minus 6. So B prime is going to be 3, positive 1. Because positive 7 minus 6 is 1. And C, once again, we're translating it for negative 6. C prime is negative 3 plus 4, 2 minus 6. C prime is 1 minus 4, 1 negative 4. And the last coordinate, letter D, for negative 6. So make sure you're copying all this down because this is going to tell you where we need to move. And I'm going to show you another way we can figure it out as well, so don't worry. Negative 7 plus 4, 2 minus 6. So D prime is going to be negative 3, negative 4. So on our coordinate grid here, I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to use a different color pen to show you that it is going to be an image. Negative 5, so negative 5, positive 1, and I'm going to go ahead and label that A prime because it says label A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. So A is negative 5, positive 1. B is 3, 1, so that's B prime. C is 1, negative 4. And D is negative 3, negative 4. And that's my D prime. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw in some nice straight line segments here to show that this is the image. And it works out to be exactly the same. And so the other way that we can do this is we can, and if you didn't understand this part, we can physically move 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, and plop a dot, and that's where our B prime would be. So now we're getting a sense of physically drawing the transformations on the coordinate grid. So let's take a look at the second example. And the second example says, on the coordinate plane, draw the image of polygon ABCDE, translated 8 units to the right and 7 units up. And once again, we're going to label that image A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, and what are the coordinates for point A? So this is what the question is asking. So do we need to draw this whole entire figure? Absolutely not. We just have to translate point A, 8 units to the right and 7 units up. So let's find the coordinates of A. So A is -10, -3. And I'm moving it 8 units to the right and 7 units up. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is my 8. And then 7 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is where my A prime ends up. -2, +4. Now we can go ahead and use our rule, our arrow notation. So A, -10, -3. And the rule that we're using is 8, 7. So -10 plus 8, -3 plus 7. That gives me a -2, +4. So indeed, that's exactly where I end up for my A prime. So in the space below, it says indicate how or explain how you determine the location of A prime. Well, we can say we moved A 8 units to the right and 7 units up. You can also indicate that you used a rule, or you can say, I used the rule T, 8, 7. And then, of course, you would show your work. So -10 plus 8, -3 plus 7 to get A prime, which is -2, 4. Okay? So hopefully you're getting a hang of that. And I do have one more example for you. Actually, I might have a couple more examples for you. So example 3. We're going to go ahead and this has got a little twist to it. So triangle ABC has vertices that are given -2, 3, -3, 0, and 1, 1. When translated, A has the coordinates of 3, 5. So the first question says, describe the translation rule to determine A prime. Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to plot A, BC, triangle ABC. So -2, 3 is here, -3, 0 is here, and 1, 1 is here. This is C. And I'm going to go ahead and use my straight edge and draw it in. Oh, 1, 1 is over here. Sorry about that, guys. 1, 1 is right over here, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little white out here. We all make mistakes. So C is right here, and I'm right here. So now A prime has coordinates of 3, 5. So I'm going to come all the way over here, +3, +5, which is right here. This is my A prime. And I want to know a translation rule that I can use to get from here to here. Describe the translation rule so to get to A prime. So going in my left-right direction first, my X direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a positive direction. So this is 5 units. And then I'm going 2 units up. So my rule is I translated it 5 units right and 2 units up. So we can say point A, or vertex A, moved 5 units right and 2 units up.
So if we want to take a look and find that coordinate using our arrow notation, negative 2, 3, and I'm applying the translation of 5, 2. So A prime is going to be negative 2 plus 5, and then positive 3 and a positive 2. So that's going to give me A prime, which is 3, 5. So it totally works out. And now we're going to apply the same arrow notation to find B and C. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and come back and we'll check it out. Okay, so hopefully you pause the video and we know that the coordinates of B are negative 3, 0. We're applying the translation rule of 5, 2. So B prime, negative 3 plus 5, and 0 plus 2. So B prime is going to end up at 2, 2. And C, I know our coordinates are 1, 1. Applying that same translation. So I end up with 1 plus 5, and then 1 plus 2. So C prime is going to be, and this should be a C as well, 6, 3. So now let's take a look at what remains the same between both triangle ABC and A prime, B prime, C prime. So taking a look here, and if we want, we can go ahead and draw that image in. Why don't we go ahead and draw that image in so we can get a better look at that. So this is going to be 2, 2. So this is my B prime in green. So we're taking a look at that in green. And C is 6, 3. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw that in using a straight edge. And I think I might have dropped my straight edge, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll just kind of sketch it in here. Not so bad for not having a ruler. Pretty good for not having a ruler. So that's what we have. And that's where we end up. So what remains the same between both triangle ABC and A prime, B prime, and C prime? Well, we know that the line segments have the same length. If I were to use a protractor and measure, I would know that the angles have the same measure. And the image is congruent. They are congruent. So the size and shape are preserved. And once again, I just told you that ABC is congruent. A prime, B prime, C prime is congruent to triangle ABC. So let's look at some key concepts here. We can explain translations using words and symbols. So I want you to think about this, and I want to pause the video once again. The translation of 2, negative 4 in words and in symbols. So pause the video and come back, and let's see what we come up with. So hopefully you pause the video, and hopefully you wrote down that this means that the object is translated 2 units right and 4 units down. And how do we know it's down? Because this is our y and this is our x. And so in symbol, it's translated x plus 2, y minus 4. So remember, every point in the original figure is the same distance and same direction it's moved at, and the image is congruent to the original figure, and the orientation is the same. So we have some congruence, we have orientation, same direction, and same distance. All right, everyone, thank you for being such an awesome audience once again, and I have some more music to play us out. Hopefully you're enjoying the music. And so we're going to play a little bit of Good Time, because it's always a great time when we do math, and thank you for being an awesome audience once again.